Hi, Voices of the Bench community. I'm Laura Prosser, the Digital Marketing Manager here for Ivoclar North America, and I would like to invite you to start following us on Instagram. It's your chance to obtain exclusive updates on product announcements, industry news, upcoming educational events, and heartwarming stories about our local team and industry professionals. So let's get social together. Simply start following us on Instagram at ivoclar.na. That's Instagram at ivoclar.na. We'll see you there.
Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 375 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name's Grandma.
Grandma, what's happening? How are you?
That's funny to say, but it really doesn't bother me. I'm good.
I'm glad to hear that, because a lot of people are bothered when they get that nickname or that new title.
Nah.
Yeah, I get it. It is what it is.
I'm that girl. Not a whole hell of a lot freaks me out anymore at my age. I don't care. He's just beautiful, and I'm in love, and it's just awesome.
I'm so happy for you and the whole family and everybody. Things are growing.
And you good?
I am good. Really busy at work, doing a lot of chairside. Weather is darn near perfect here in Indiana.
We're kind of weather newscasters as well. Every time we talk.
I think that's why people tune in, really, to find out the weather of Indiana and Florida.
It's 95
in respects
here.
of running.
95. I almost
that
died
sucks.
last week when I ran. It was not pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is terrible. Yeah, I'm finishing up work. There's still 3 hours of daylight, and it's in the low 70s, man.
Nice.
I'm going for a run. Yeah, it's really nice.
Sweet. So all you runners out there, be jealous, because I am.
Yeah. All right, enough of this small talk. It's finally here.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
After months and months of editing, organizing, and probably the hardest part, getting everyone's headshots
for the episode,
we finally are starting the episodes with conversations we got at the amazing exocad booth at IDS in Cologne, Germany. From March 25th to the 28th, we were set up to record everybody that wanted to stop by and be on the podcast.
And there was tons.
There was tons. You ready for this? 26 separate conversations, but many of them had more than just one person.
Yeah. And you and I don't think we took a break the whole time.
Not many.
Just giving a shout out. Just saying.
I will say this, that exocad did a great job with providing us with water and just checking up on us, making sure things were going all right.
Yeah, bud.
Out of all these 26 conversations, we came up with 11 episodes worth of IDS greatness. Hopefully y'all like live recordings, because we got a lot of them.
So strap in and enjoy this very, and I say very, diverse group that all attended the largest dental show in the world. And when we say diverse, we are talking background, careers, location, stories. But before we get into the first episode, not played in any particular order.
They came together just from time.
Yeah, exactly. But we do need to give a big thank you to the true stars that made all this happen. exocad. exocad was amazing to Elvis and I in Voices from the Bench. Not only did they make this possible, but they went out of their way to make us feel like a part of their purple family, like legit. So let's not delay any longer. Let's get to it.
So this week, we bring you 3 conversations, of course, from the exocad booth at IDS. First up is...
I want to give everybody a warning. These names are tough, so...
Hajir Shamil, who just happened to be the first person we talked to and who was gracious enough to actually record with us twice.
Oh, yeah. She was amazing.
Because the first one...
We
completely lost it because of technical difficulties. And let me tell you, Hajir just rolled with it. She's like, no problem. It's all good. Let's do it again.
Yep.
And it was just as good as the first one, as Hajir talks about being a doctor in Iraq, but deciding that she likes designing on exocad more. She talks about going to school near Russia, falling in love with dental labs, what the industry is like in Iraq, and why she came to IDS.
And then we talked to the design and finish partnership of Daniel Porter and Gerson Prada. All over the exocad were these giant pictures of select heroes from the exocad world and dentistry. Right next to our booth with Daniel Porter, who has a long history with exocad. So they were basically right on top of our booth in big giant forms.
That dude
He was awesome.
overlooking all of us.
When he first worked for them, he actually sold the first license in South America. Now in Florida, my end of the world, Daniel is doing just designs for dentists and labs around the world. And one of the people he trusts with the manufacturing is Gerson. With his lab in Utah, Gerson for 12 years has been perfecting amazing looking zirconia and talks about why he came to IDS.
And then we wrap up the very first episode of IDS with Diogo Viegas. But let me tell you, he's a lot more than just a doctor. He's got more credential letters after his name than letters in his own name. Dr. Viegas tells us all about dentistry in Lisbon, Portugal, where he got his doctorate, then his master's, and then he became a certified dental technician. He talks about owning his own practice, doing his own lab work, teaching others, and how actually traffic affects same-day crowds. So join us as we chat with Hajir Shamil, Daniel Porter, Gerson Prada, and Dr. Diogo Viegas. Voices from the Bench. The interview.
Do you know Adik Dubai? Have you been there? It's also a very popular dental exhibition in Dubai that happens every year in February.
Well, let's just put it out there right now that Barb and I are willing to go to Dubai and record the podcast.
You should.
I would love to.
I mean, Dubai is interesting. Have you been there?
No.
I've been to India, but I have not been to Dubai.
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
You should go to Dubai next time. Next Adik should be in February next year.
Oh, no, that's when Chicago happens.
Yeah.
Oh, what time is Chicago? I think
Late February.
Are you recording?
this is early February.
So maybe we could do both.
Yeah. And
That
maybe I
would-
can see you there.
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing. I know.
All right, here we go again.
All
Take
right.
2 at the exocad booth in the wonderful, wonderful IDS. We got a first-timer
Yay!
here with us because we're first-timers, so we all don't know
Me
what we're
too.
doing. I'm surprised I made it here
We had a
this
tiny
morning.
technical glitch, but do-overs are perfect.
Yes,
It's okay.
we'll learn more. So please
Do-overs.
say your name because I already forgot the pronunciation.
So it's Hajir.
Hajir.
Yeah, simply Hajir.
Hajir, but you're Dr.
But you're a
Hajir.
doctor.
So-
Mention that.
You're a doctor, but you're an exocad expert.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love that expert.
You like the expert
Yeah,
part?
yeah.
So
So wait, where are you from? So what country are you from?
I am from Iraq.
Right.
Yes. And
you decided to become a dentist.
Yes. I decided to become a dentist, and I'm a dentist, but then I changed my mind and I became a dental CAD designer.
That's a big change because you went from a pay scale that's probably up here
Yeah.
to another pay scale.
But the thing is that the thing I'm trying to make is that, okay, it's like maybe a lower level, but I'm trying to make it higher.
yeah, as we all
That's
are,
the
I
goal.
would hope. Sure.
Yeah. Because
sure.
it depends on what you're giving, the
Yeah.
product you're giving, and how
True.
elite that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elite's a great word. So
Yeah.
tell us, how did you become a doctor and where did you go to school?
Okay, so as I told you, I become a dentist because it's kind of popular social thing.
What do you mean by that? Like, if you
Is it a
don't become a
family or
doctor,
a-
it's your.
Yeah, kind of, because
is everybody there a doctor?
not really, but it's a pressure from the society to become something like a doctor, a dentist, a pharmacist, something like this.
Yeah.
Is it
Maybe an
necessarily a
engineer.
male-female thing or is it
Oh.
just...
Not really. It's in general, actually. But for females, I remember like my family would always be like, it's a good pay for a female. It's stable and stuff.
Yeah.
But I tried I chose dentistry because it was okay medical, but at the same time creative
Yeah.
and You can use your imagination. It's artistic.
Yeah.
And that what makes it interesting. Thank you for the water.
And you said you went to school for 6 years, but you went to school in another country.
I went to Azerbaijan, which makes my story even more interesting.
Say that again.
It's Azerbaijan. It's somewhere
I've never
near
heard
Russia.
Of that.
Oh,
somewhere near Russia.
Yeah, you should Google it
Which
because
is pretty
because
far
it was part of Russia back then.
Is that a country you're saying?
Yes, it's a country. The capital is Baku, and the country is Azerbaijan.
So in Iraq, when you choose that you want to become a dentist,
yes.
How do you end up near Russia going to school?
Yeah, this is the thing. It's either you study in Iraq, or if you plan to study internationally, you have to choose one of the universities that are agreed by the High Minister of studies in Iraq. So I had to choose.
So they have a list of approvals.
Yeah.
Was there one in America you could choose?
Of course there are.
Oh,
really?
interesting.
Yeah. But at the end, wherever you bring your diploma from, you have to evaluate it back at your country, as of every country in the world, because you have to follow the policies of this country, especially if it's a medical or a law field.
Yeah.
So
Did your parents give you a nudge and say go there, or was
yeah,
that all
my
of you?
parents are always supportive
Yeah.
for that, because they always want me to build my personality, become independent, and
well, it's pretty damn independent to move
I know
close to Russia by yourself, and it's non-English speaking, correct?
It is. It's
so
not English speaking.
That first year must have been a little bit.
It was, but
tough.
it's interesting because I never feel homesick or anything. I can go anywhere and I feel it's like my place. Even if I don't speak the language, I can manage, which is interesting.
It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yes, and I love that about myself.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and back then I've never heard of it before, or only sometimes only. But then it became one of my favorites. I love it there. I love the country, the people, the culture. It's interesting, and so I miss it so much.
So you were embarking on being a dentist, but then which you did become.
Yeah,
but then you kind of brought us through year 3, 4. You got into designing.
Yes, it's all all thanks to my university. Back then, they opened a digital dental lab.
So they just decided we're going to get in?
Exactly, and I love that. It was the perfect timing for me because I was a 4th-year dental student at that time.
Okay.
Was this a lab to do the school's work?
No, it was a lab that does, they have outsources too, but they can do the school work too.
Okay.
And it was always full of students to just explore.
Wow.
And their lessons and stuff, but I went there and I was like, oh, so
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, can you train me for the purple program?
The purple program.
I love the purple, exocad purple.
Yeah, because I saw it on Instagram and it seems
You didn't know what it
interesting.
was. You just knew it was as
Yeah,
purple.
I remember it was purple, the teeth were yellow, and it's interesting. I mean, you can
But
design
the guy that was
teeth.
training it didn't speak a lot of English,
yeah,
right?
it was
so you had that barrier.
Yeah. It was Mehdi, the boss of the lab. I went there, and he was the first person to ask me, "What are you doing here?" So I told him, "I'm a student, and I am interested in a training. Do you make these?" And he was like, "Not really, but if you're interested, here's a laptop. You can try that. You can do it yourself, I think, because we're busy working here, and you're the kiddo who wants to play." And
so you literally just sat down and
yes, and I have a picture.
Yourself.
I have a picture. I remember sharing that picture on LinkedIn, which is the picture that Nilo saw and sent a message to me.
Yes. One picture started this whole thing.
Yes,
that is great.
And now I'm here.
Was it hard to learn exocad?
It's not hard. As a CAD designer today, it's not hard. It's super user friendly.
Yeah.
It's easy. You can click next and see what's going on. But about the hardest part of CAD designing, I think the management of the case. because no case is like the other.
Yeah,
there are no exact ABCs that you have to follow. You have to know how to deal with it. And I think like being a dentist and a CAD designer give me some pluses because I know why did the dentist do that. I'm not like, oh, what is that? Why did he do that? He does not know how to work. No, I don't do that because I understand the challenges at the clinic and the challenges with the patient.
Best of both worlds that you can put both together.
And that's, I think, my strength point that I'm trying to make stronger and stronger.
So you fell in love with it, and you went to school.
Yes.
So you basically were in school full time, and then in the lab.
After school, I would go to the
software.
lab. Yeah.
That takes a lot.
It takes a lot, but it was interesting because I was doing something new and nobody was doing at that time.
Yeah.
And I remember people at the lab, they were like, you're a dentist. What are you doing here? You're a lady. They were only guys at that time.
Oh, really?
Because I think it's...
is that common?
I think, because...
it's a male...
You're like, I'm a badass.
I know. Females are, at the lab, are not that popular, especially back then. Now, we are popular. We're rocking, I mean.
Very much. Yes. Very much. Agreed.
Yes.
So you're back in Iraq now.
Yeah, I finished. I graduated.
Yep.
And then I moved back to Iraq because it was the best option for me. Like right at the moment I arrived in Iraq, I had a job offer as a dental CAD designer at the lab I'm currently working in and managing the design
department. So how
did
they know about you?
They know about me.
LinkedIn post?
The thing is, before I moved back to Iraq, I was searching for dental labs that I can go for summer training in.
There you go.
Good call.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, let's not waste time. Let's do it. So once I go back to Iraq, as you know, because I spent my school years in another country, so my connections are pretty poor in Iraq related to the dental field. So I was like, oh, let's try my shot. I had a friend who recommended me to her boss, and he was like, oh, let her come. It's only like summer training, and let's see. I stayed there for 1 month and a half. I would go every day, would do some simple cases.
Yeah.
I remember learning on partial CAD at that time because nobody wants to do the partials. So
nobody wants to do the partial.
Yeah, they put it on the training.
Did you get good at it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to work on partial
Why
anymore.
doesn't people like doing partials?
It's
I mean, it's partials.
Yeah,
it's not as aesthetic and artistic.
Well,
you seem to know too.
It's
Elvis.
more, I would say, more complicated to understand the dynamics of partials.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it does not always work. You have to try.
And what did they do? They print the wax and then casted them?
No, we did like the peak thingy.
Oh, you milled them.
Yeah.
Wow.
You milled partials. Wow.
We're fancy schmancy
It's
now.
fancy schmancy. You don't see that too often. Is that common over there?
It's not common, but for our lab, it is. Because we're pioneers too. We try always to do some new things and things that nobody does.
We'll talk about some other things in Iraq. I mean, mostly zirconia, I imagine, or
but we do Emax too.
Yep.
Or let's say lithium disilicate to be more scientific.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And bars and hybrids.
Metal bars, titanium hybrids. As you said, we do feldspathics.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And I think Iraq is trying so hard in dentistry, and we're reaching some points actually. Even in digital dentistry, like as I told you, intraoral scanners became so popular.
What's the big one over there?
Should I mention names?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Medit and 3Shape are like
Medit,
the
really?
trios.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they are in the market.
Yeah.
Yes, and they are doing their best. And even 3D printers and clinic 3D printers are becoming very popular, especially the last year, because there is a company who's working on that too in Iraq. So yes, clinics too are digitalizing, and they are bringing the in-lab, our in-clinic labs.
Mm-hmm.
How many cases, percentage-wise, do you think you get into your lab that is intraoral compared
Versus
to
impressions?
traditional impressions?
I'm not sure about the percentage, but
Roughly.
it's roughly 70 to 80%.
Yeah.
in our
digital.
Lab. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because,
That's huge.
yeah.
That's more than a lot of labs in the U.S., honestly.
Exactly. I know. I
Which
told
is
you.
good because that's where you landed.
Exactly.
Smart woman. So are you at the same lab that you've been at?
Yeah.
What's the
And
name
you're-
of the lab?
Yeah.
It's Platinum Dental Lab. Shout
Platinum?
out.
Shout out. Shout
Platinum?
out.
Yeah, Platinum.
Platinum.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you manage the whole digital
how many people?
design.
Yeah, it's
part of
we're
it,
not a
correct?
lot. It's me and 4 others. So we're 5 CAD designers
Yeah.
at the lab.
Wow. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I'm the oldest one. That's why I tend to be the manager.
Where did they
kind
find
of
the other
things.
ones? In high school?
No, I don't. I don't mean age-wise, but in the lab because they came after me.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I meant.
So do you get to deal with dentists at
Most of-
all, merging with what
Yeah.
you do?
Most of our CAD designers in the lab, actually, they are dentists.
Really?
Yeah, which is interesting.
Wow.
Why are so
told
many
you.
dentists not becoming dentists?
I told you because the market of clinical dentistry is becoming
like it's hard to get a practice, or?
It is because there are way too many dentists there.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So then that was a really good call on your part.
It is because I told you it was the
Yeah.
faster you get in that, the more pioneerish you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what's your favorite part to design now?
To design now, my favorite, I don't know, I like to design maybe all on X.
Probably all the hard
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
right?
What's
Yeah.
the big implant company in Iraq? Are there a few of them?
The most popular,
Yeah.
it can be maybe Megagen.
Oh, Megagen. Okay,
yeah,
heard of them.
Ostem, Stroming Groups, all of
Straumann,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to work with these. And so many companies, they are like the other.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
lot of implants
Yes.
come from
Yeah,
that
yeah.
side of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you still have the big core ones. That,
Of course,
yeah.
I like to use these because
Yeah.
they are more flexible, interesting, and their prosthetic parts are very reliable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned the All on X.
Yeah.
Do you do same day conversions or like day of surgery design and they print?
It depends. It depends on the cases,
Sure.
but we're not at that point yet.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to get there, but we design temporaries, but not at the same day
Not
of
the
the
same day.
surgery. Because, for example, one of the dentists we're dealing with, they already have their in-clinic lab.
Yep.
So for same days,
They'll
he
use
does it
them.
in the clinic. So we're only doing the long-term temporaries.
Out of
and
zirconia
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a
yeah.
titanium bar.
Exactly.
Photogrammetry, is this happening in Iraq?
What is it? Sorry.
Photogrammetry, where they take the
he's
camera.
showing off his
Oh,
implants.
I'm not
like
showing
you mean the
off.
face scans?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's for me, I haven't used it in a real case until now. But
Yeah.
I remember we did it on myself. We
Oh,
took
there you go, yeah.
to try it.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I
Very
think,
interesting.
yeah, I think it's very interesting. But it's not very popular in there.
Interesting, yeah. It will be.
It will
Yeah,
be,
it
for
will
sure.
be.
Yeah, it's not even super popular in the U.S. yet. It's still kind of in its early stages, but it won't be long before it becomes
What
standard
company
treatment.
are you using?
Well, for photogrammetry, there's a few of them. There's iCam and the PIC. Micromapper is a very popular one, and
Which I'm sure
Shining
we'll see
3D.
here,
Oh, I'm
right?
sure they're here somewhere.
Yeah.
In the depths of one of these buildings. I mean, how do you find
I know.
anybody?
It took me so long to get here.
You said you came to IDS and you came to exocad first.
Yeah, I was.
It took us a
yeah,
good
it
half
took me
an
about
hour.
half an hour. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So what do you plan on doing here at IDS? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for
A way
digital.
out? No, I'm just kidding.
Of course, not really. Digital dentistry
Yeah.
and everything related. I told you I feel like I burn out from designing, so I want to do something bigger.
Yes, talk about this burning out. You haven't even been doing it that long, right?
I know, but I think I'm young and I get bored very quickly.
So how are we going to fix this?
I'm
She's
trying to
here.
fix. Yeah, I'm trying to fix it by coming here.
Coming here,
Yeah.
getting inspiration.
I need
getting-
inspiration, ideas, connections, and we'll see. I think today's the first day, and in 5 days, my life would be
Yeah,
different.
so this is your first IDS, the same with us. So
Yeah.
it's 5 days. Do you do like one haul a day? What are you thinking
I
in your
don't
brain, I should
know.
say? I know it's
think-
your first
I don't
time.
know.
Is
It's
it
my
walk?
first time.
It is
I would
huge.
just walk and
just
we'll
go-
explore.
Yeah.
Just like what I do in new
Talk
cities.
to people and figure out what you can bring back and what you can implement.
Exactly.
And what's something.
Exactly. What can we do and what can we change and what can we bring to the table, I think.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, I think this is what's awesome about our industry,
Yeah.
and especially about the digital part of our industry, because it's just like it's the newest part. It's the most revolving, and it's interesting.
Keeps updating, keeps
Exactly.
getting better.
Exactly.
getting-
Sometimes that's like it puts so much pressure on you, but at the end, it's fun. It should be
Yeah.
fun.
It's challenging, it's fun, and it keeps you going and keeps you
Yeah.
driven.
So how long has it been since you've been in a mouth?
Last time I've been in a mouth, I think less than a year.
That's
Really?
awesome.
Yeah.
Are you afraid to lose that skill?
I don't think so.
No?
I'm so
I
good
bet,
at it.
yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
might go back to it one day, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to keep up on whatever continuing education you need to keep up your.
Exactly.
you.
And if I go back, I have to go back to a digital clinic.
Yeah.
No, any normal
Sure.
clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not after what you've been through. There'd
Yeah,
be
I'm
no
like,
going
I
back.
have to be
Yeah.
a digital dentist.
Yeah.
You would probably want your own technician in your office
Maybe.
to keep that collaboration
Exactly.
tight. Yeah.
I was thinking
Collaboration.
the other day if I do clinicals, I would do my own designs. I would just keep like
Oh, yeah.
you'd
There'd
love
be
that.
no way you couldn't, right? It's like, I'm making
When are you going to do
my own
dentistry,
now.
though?
No,
You'd
I
be
would-
working 18 hours a day.
No, I would just like make my cases, design them, and make the sermons just like layer it.
Yep.
And
Awesome.
slay it.
Yeah.
Layer it
Like
and slay it.
Like it.
That's
It's
awesome.
going to be my new tagline.
There you go.
We're going to make a meme about that.
There you go.
Oh, okay, I'll be waiting for that. I'm following you. I love your memes.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you
Well,
so
thank
much for sitting
you.
down.
Thank you guys.
That was awesome.
We have kept recording going this time, so I'm
and we did
super
it twice,
excited.
and you've been super amazing. So
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you for having
show.
me.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so
Good luck
much.
to you.
Thank you.
So this is super exciting. We're at IDS, Cologne, Germany, exocad booth. Barb and I are set up under a wall with a gentleman, I would say about
I think he's
3
famous.
times as big as
Yeah.
the gentleman himself. Daniel Porter?
Portal.
Portal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Portal. It's right
Yeah.
in front of me. on
Everybody,
that map.
everybody makes the same mistake.
Yeah.
No worries.
So, Daniel, how are you, sir?
Doing well.
Who the
Very
hell
excited
are
to be
you?
here.
Why are you so big
Yeah,
on
what's
Uh,
happening?
There's a long history between me and exocad, but I guess ultimately Christine decided worthwhile inviting me.
the wall? Yeah?
But yeah, I've been using exocad now for pretty much ever since it launched.
You don't sound German. You don't
No,
sound...
no, no.
Where are you from?
Yeah, where are you
Originally, I was born in the U.S., but I grew up in Venezuela.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yes.
Wow.
And,
Very
um,
fascinating.
I came across exocad. I worked for the first distributor in the U.S. called
Really?
B&D Dental. And they hired me.
B&D?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know them. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they hired me so that I would do tech support in Spanish.
Nice.
And so I actually sold. Well, I didn't sell it, but I went and installed the first license, the first exocad license in South America, in Ecuador, and
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
it is.
then I worked in a few different labs around the country using exocad mostly, and then eventually ended up working for exocad. I did their tech support and training for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
I took care of the entire Western Hemisphere and Spain. Being the only native Spanish speaker, then all the Spanish countries fell onto me,
Yeah.
as well
That
as
makes a lot of sense.
North America.
Yeah.
So, how did you even get into dental technology?
There's a lot of dentists in my family on my mom's side,
Yeah.
and I was always drawn to it. I know this is gonna make me sound a little bit bad, but I saw a video of a surgery, and I was like, yeah, maybe
I'm
this
out.
isn't for me.
I feel the same way. That's
so
hilarious.
I
Yep.
actually didn't know this side of dentistry existed, and I've always been good with my hands and sculpting.
Yep.
And I saw like a good medium there, and
So,
that's
who
like-
did everybody in your family use a lab? You just didn't like make the connection, or
Yeah, it was my aunts and uncles are the dentists, and I just was never close enough to
Sure.
to know that part of
see
it.
the reality of it.
Yeah,
The
and
crazy of it.
Yeah. And so I had no idea lab technology existed.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a great fit for me.
Yeah. And who are you?
And then you're from
Gerson?
Utah.
I'm Gerson Prada.
Gerson Prada.
And you guys are buds, right?
Yes, very, very good friends.
So you mentioned you're from Utah. How does this all fit in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to live in Utah, and so that's how we met each other. Yeah.
Did you guys meet in a lab?
In the lab, yeah. Dental lab, yes.
And you're a designer as well?
Well, he designs, and I mostly finish the case. That's what I work more.
That's what I do.
So we tandem. I do the designing, and he does the manufacturing.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Printing, milling, whatever needs to be done, PFMs, whatever it is, he's one.
So are you currently with exocad?
I am not.
So you own a lab now?
I'm 100% independent, and I have my own design service and training.
So you do design?
Yes, sir.
For dentists?
And labs.
And then you send it over to him.
Those that need manufacturing, yes.
Wow, that's quite
And then you send your designs.
Yep. I send my designs, and we finish the case together.
That's awesome.
That works
and
out
we
really
pray
nice.
to make sure it's good.
Yeah. Because you're both on the
you own
same
your
page.
own lab?
Yeah, I own my own lab. It's based in Utah.
What's the name of the
It's
lab?
Design Dental Lab Arts.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And how long have you been in the industry?
I've been for 12 years.
Okay. Yeah. How'd you get into it?
The same. I have a background with my family. I have an uncle that is a dentist, and I always like to work with my hands.
Sure.
Go from
That
there.
is a message we hear a lot.
Yeah.
You're either know somebody or somebody's a dentist or somehow you fall into it.
And I want to help dentists to become better,
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually been on a few trips, like going to train dentists on how to do surgeries
nice.
and
Wow.
same day.
So you're back into the blood.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get away from it. But yeah, we've done that in tandem a few times now, and really great experiences.
And do you like working with dentists or do you like working with dental technicians better?
You want me to start a war? Is that what it
Just
is?
remember, this
I know what the
audience
answer
is.
is. We like our dental technicians, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
And this is your third IDS, second?
No, this is, I don't know, it's my fifth, sixth.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
it takes
our first.
It takes 5 before you get up on a wall.
Apparently. When I was with exocad, they'll bring me here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
every time
awesome.
those ones going on. So yeah, I think it's my fourth or fifth.
Wow. Is it fun to walk around not having to work?
It is awesome.
Yeah, I bet.
I was
It's a
going to say, are
different
you
experience.
lecturing? Are
No,
you
no,
good
no,
for
no
you.
lecturing. Yeah, I just came for the fun.
Good
Really?
For you.
So do you look for anything when you're here?
Yeah, I just want to see what's going on, especially on the AI side of things. That's
It's a big buzz.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's like risen to the top that you've seen so far? I know it's only day one.
There is a couple companies that I think are doing a great job, and to a certain extent make it become a bit of a threat.
Yeah.
But I think if I can leverage it correctly, then I'll take advantage
great
of the
point.
There you go.
technology.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, AI is coming up fast, and it's scary at times.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But, I even resisted it a lot. And I'm starting to,
You have to.
There's a place in it, I think, for us to
surgical
utilize.
guides, it's changed my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I mean, just the simple things it will do for you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I think little by little is going to, because the difference between a crown and a full arch is maybe a year of development.
Absolutely.
A couple years. So
Yeah.
that's coming down the pike, I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, you just got to adopt it quickly and see how you can leverage it before somebody else does.
Yeah.
Are
What
you
about
looking
you? What
for
are you
anything?
looking for?
Yep.
I'm just looking to get more zirconia and probably what's new out here. You always see new milling machines.
Be careful that
You-
you're saying you're looking for new zirconia. Everybody will find you and show it to you.
Do you
Yeah.
find more dentists here or technicians or a little bit of a
I
mix?
think both.
Yeah.
Technicians.
Somebody
dentists.
told us that there's 180,000
Attendees.
people attending this show.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus,
the sheer size of this place is
I think they
is
were all
overwhelming.
in our Uber. No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah, well, we're enjoying it so far, so good, but we've only been in this one hall. What do you do, like a hall a day? How do you see the
can't
whole
walk
show?
The whole thing. You cannot walk the whole thing. I don't care how fast you walk. If you stop to see anything at all, then you're done. It's over. So you just kind of pick the ones where you see the vendors you like to see, and
Yep.
that's all you get to do. It's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine
No.
slow walking this
No,
whole
no,
thing.
no,
No
you
way.
can't. And you'll easily put in your 22,000 steps a day. So, yeah.
So what do you use, Mio?
I use Mio.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah.
I don't want to say other names because
Yeah.
I don't want to create a problem here.
No,
Just
everybody loves each other. They
Right?
understand it all mixes well.
What's your favorite part?
my favorite part, it's to create the teeth and create a good anatomy and make sure everything's
texture.
nice.
Yeah, it's my favorite
and
part
smooth,
too.
and it's ready to place on the patient.
Yeah.
So when you work together from such separate locations, whose doctor is it? The designers or the finishers, or is it both?
It's both.
Yeah.
It depends on the client. We would do things like, okay, I'll do the design and let me introduce you to my lab friend, and you can send to manufacturer.
Yep.
That way we keep things separate with some clients. Some others he finds or we find together, and so we treat them as one, and we just kind of keep track of those
And
together.
how do you communicate between the desires of the patient, the doctor, the designer, and the finisher? I mean, that's a lot of steps to finish it.
We have
we have AI.
No,
we hit a button and we walk away.
no. So there's. I tell doctors that I want them to think that I am blind, and they need to paint a picture of what they want through their RX. And so I have doctors that send me 5-page RX or 20-minute videos on RX, and that just makes it a lot easier because there's the less I have to guess.
100%.
The better off I am. And so I try to tell them, like, if you have down to measurements, like if you want to see a tooth that's X amount tall by wide, just give me all of that, and then I'll try to approach your idea as close as possible from the get-go, rather than going back and forth multiple times and having to redesign the case. Sometimes, like, if the doctor goes straight through Gerson, and to me, then I'll tell him, hey, we need better RX. And so we
more
just
information.
we try to push it back on the doctor as much as we can so he can do his part correctly, and then we can do our part correctly.
Do you get into the whole facial scans and all that, or do you require it, or?
So I'm going to be an odd one on this one, odd one out, and I understand it. I don't find much value in face scans.
Okay.
I don't.
The picture's enough?
Yes, a good quality picture that makes or breaks the case to me, especially if we're doing aesthetics. So I do require a good quality picture.
Yeah.
Make sure the patient's not sitting, though.
Yeah.
Why?
Straight up.
Straight up.
See the eyes.
Because when they
see
sit,
the
they
pupils,
slouch?
No. So
see the midline.
I think what he means, like,
yeah.
especially when they're laid back.
Oh,
you have some doctors
jaws
like to
are-
stand over the patient and take pictures.
Yeah.
Don't do
Sometimes
that.
we
them
can
up.
only see the ear, the left ear, right ear.
Yeah. Are you guys finding that doctors are wanting to see pictures of the design before
Yes.
in that
Design
tool of
approval.
going back and
Yeah.
that? I'm finding that more and more in our lab.
And
It's like doctors want to be involved. They want to see the design. They want to see the shapes.
Yes.
And then you can tweak it so much easier.
But isn't that like a safety zone where you could be like, well, you approved it. You said it was
Right.
good.
And that's actually part of the reason why, for example, when we work together, any design I do, I send a preview along with it.
Yep.
And I try to, in a way, put the responsibility on the doctor to, one, check my work.
Yeah.
And he can, if he approves, you can come back to me and say, oh, I don't like the aesthetics.
Yep.
Because you've already
Yeah,
seen
you
at
already
least one
saw it.
preview in the
Yeah.
process.
He owns it.
Yeah, and so I try to share the responsibility because I can make a mistake, and if I do, then the doctor can point it out to me, hey, this, whatever it is, and then I'll redesign, no problem. But once we've progressed past the point of design, he can't come back and say, hey, this is going on because you've already looked at it.
Yeah.
You didn't
You
point
hit
it
the
out to
button.
me,
You
so
approved
we're
it.
both
Yeah.
we're both
See, but I
responsible
love
here.
that. I think that's a great benefit because then it's just like doing a diagnostic, but it's digital.
Right,
So
exactly.
they look at it, you do a trial run, everybody's happy.
And exocad, you could send it directly from exocad. They
Right.
can view it 360 degrees.
They don't
and
need the
move it
software or
around.
anything. Just
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, it
I
is.
don't know if the other softwares do that, but
so every case that I design, even if it's a simple posterior molar, I'll send a preview out to the doctor.
really, even you do those.
Yes,
so.
for every single case I design, you get a preview, you get to approve it, you get to criticize my work, evaluate whatever you want to do. But here's a preview of it before we move forward.
Do you get a lot of rejection? I mean,
No.
do you get a lot of?
No.
I don't think so. You're on the wall. Something tells me that you've got it going on by now, right?
There's it happens, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
doctors
sure.
that are pickier than others, and that's fine. I welcome the challenge every time. But no, usually because I am so open about what I'm doing, here's my design, critique it, then doctors tend to lower their guard a bit and more willing to cooperate with me to get what they want.
And you want that because
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
doctors can be tough, like
Yeah.
we were talking about. You've got your clients that you probably say, you know what, I'm not your technician.
Yeah.
I'm not your lab.
Yeah.
And then you've got the ones that you're partnered with, that you have communication with, and it's just so much easier
Yep.
to deal with them.
That's
I'm
correct.
sure you fire doctors every now and again, don't you?
Yeah, we fire sometimes a lot of doctors.
Yeah. Sometimes
No,
it just
we
doesn't
wanna
work,
we wanna
right?
be friendly with
Yeah,
them, you know.
yeah. You've got to have that. Sometimes doctors have that ego about them, and I'm not trying to trash doctors, but I think it's better when they are accepting, just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
If I need
'cause
to tweak it, I tweak it.
the way I see it is what you do is very important, and whether you like to recognize it or not, what I do is also equally important. So if we both have the same level of respect for each other's work,
Yeah.
then we'll get along just fine. And that's usually the type of people I like to work with.
Do you do designs for doctors that will mill it themselves
Yeah.
and do it in-house? Yeah.
In fact, unfortunately, for people like Harrison, that seems to be the trend.
Yeah,
In-house labs, it seems to be the way things are flowing right now.
yeah.
Mills are getting affordable.
Yeah.
I mean,
And so a lot of my clients actually have their in-house equipment. But
who's staining them, though?
Probably their
Assistants?
hygienists.
yeah, they have assistants
Yep.
trained, and
Yep.
Jeez.
so like Harrison
And they
goes out
call-
and trains doctors on, or their
Oh,
their
well, you're
staff
doing
on
it to yourself.
And so we've trained doctors on how to do the finishing and all the
Yeah.
the
But
post.
they don't learn they don't learn right away. It takes the skill,
It
you know,
takes
the time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they can do it, but it's not gonna be.
I
the
don't
same
ever
all the
see
time,
them doing
you know?
it full time, though. I think maybe they have a case here or there that they might want to do or take on themselves, but
One volume increases.
I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
If
don't
they're
see
spending
them
all their
wanting
time
to.
doing that, they're not doing dentistry.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they're losing
And
out
their
on
chair
money.
time is a whole heck of a lot.
Which
Yep.
which is a critique that always, because I do get hired by a lot of doctors to come train them how to use the software,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I tell them, look, before I even get out there, like I would love to train you, I'd love to get paid for doing this, but you're not going to be doing this.
Yeah.
Like if you sit down to
There's
design
no
a
way.
crown, the time it takes you to design it, you lost money because you should have been seeing a different patient,
Yeah.
and you're making more money now if you get into the more complex cases. By the time you're able to design a case as fast as somebody with a lot of experience can, the time investment that would have to come on your end would just not make it worth it.
It's
any
not
longer.
worth it. Yeah. I don't understand why they want to, other than just they want to get their hands in it and be creative, and
And
they
kinda-
think they're saving money, but they're not.
They're not.
keep,
There's no way.
keep as much money as they
Yeah.
can, or at least that's how they see it. But
Yeah.
it's pretty time consuming to get good with the software.
Sure.
It takes a while. So
So do you have technicians working with you, or do you do everything? And if
I'm
you
a
do,
one-man
how
show.
do you do that? Wow.
yeah, I'm a one-man show. So I do all my trainings, I do all my designs myself. I don't outsource anything except for manufacturing that I send to Gerson. But besides that, every design comes out of my company. I did.
And where are you located now? Florida?
I just moved to Florida a few months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
That's where I'm
part?
at.
Just outside of Orlando,
Oh,
the
nice.
Groveland, Claremont area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I live in Tampa,
There you
Clearwater.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What
That's
what
my
took you
favorite
to
beach
Florida?
go to.
Heck
What took me to
yeah.
Florida?
Florida.
Yes, of course. Being in Utah, housing market just got out of hand. I couldn't afford a home.
Oh, really? But you could afford one in Florida. Is it worse than
Oh, yeah.
Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And so,
Wow.
for the same price, I would have gotten 2/3 of the house in Utah.
Yeah.
And so
That's insane. I did
That
not
and-
realize
and-
that.
actually weather was probably the main. Like I got sick and tired of winters.
Winters.
Mhm.
So-
Yeah.
Agreed.
I get that.
And you're going to move to Florida next, right?
Probably, yeah. We're gonna be probably a lab there.
Good for you guys.
There's plenty of labs in
Heck
Florida.
yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Maybe
Awesome.
we don't know.
You should.
Well, awesome. Thank you
well,
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank
No,
you
thank
for
you. Thank you very much
providing
for
us
the
our
invitation.
wall.
Thank,
Yeah,
Thank
which we
you.
love.
Thanks for your
Exocad.
time.
Thank
And you look
you.
damn good up there.
Thank you, appreciate that.
All right.
Thanks for
Thank
all
you as
the
well,
funny
Harrison.
jokes.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Enjoy.
All right, take care, guys.
Voices from the bench.
Yes, sir.
You don't have a name tag, so I have no idea.
They didn't give me one.
Oh.
Hold on.
Are
So
you in,
my-
are you in here illegally?
No. I'm invited.
Did you sneak in? Did you
No.
jump the gate?
So hold on. Hold it. Okay.
Oh, a man with a card. I love it.
Oh, perfect.
I'm old.
I want to
I'm
see.
Whoa,
I'm an
whoa.
old-fashioned. I'm an
Oh, I
old-fashioned
got to see
guy.
a card. Give me one of those.
Professor, doctor.
What
Diogo?
the hell?
Diogo. Like no,
Diogo?
you can call me Diego,
Diego?
and not Vegas. It's Viegas. But if you feel comfortable,
Viegas.
just call me Diego Vegas. That's fine.
Diego Vegas. DDS MSc, CDT, PhD, assistant professor of Livingston.
What the heck?
Livingston
Well, I think we
Facility
might have a
Don't represent
celebrity.
anything.
Woo!
That's okay.
It represents everything.
No, if
my
you don't know
friend.
what you're
I'm
doing,
out of breath
doesn't
saying all this.
That's crazy. Well, you're recording, so you just did.
Yeah. Woo! Well, here we are, IDS
Dun, dun,
2025. We're at the exocad booth, and our good friend brought us a gentleman over, Dr. Diego Viegas.
There you go. That's it.
Say your name.
My name is Diogo Viegas, but that's
Diogo.
fine. I'm more than comfortable. It's
Yeah.
easier.
We like it better when he says his name, though.
Absolutely.
Elvis doesn't do too good.
I don't do well, and
Wow.
I admit it. So tell us, how did you get into dental? I mean, you're a professor and a doctor.
Yeah,
so.
and all of that.
Yeah,
Give us your whole story.
So basically, it's easy. So I went to study dentistry, and then I got
Where at? Where'd you go? to
Lisbon,
study?
Lisbon Dental School.
Lisbon.
Yeah, and then when I finished the course, actually during the course, I had the opportunity to follow a mentor. He used to work at Malo Clinic,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I think I like Prosto.
No,
I'll go
really?
Prosto.
It wasn't Paulo, was it?
That's
no,
a
no,
lot.
but I managed to meet him, and it was quite
Yeah.
an investment for them to me having to be there, right?
Sure.
And I was like learning. This was like 2003, something like that.
Okay.
And suddenly I finished the course. I wasn't able to stay at the practice, but I still carry on. I was like, oh, I need to go a little bit deeper on Prosto. So I did a master, 3 years at the uni.
Wow.
And
That's
then
still in the dental side, right?
Still in the
so
dental
you're doing
side.
So you're talking
surgery,
pros?
yeah.
surgeries, placing implants.
More or less, just prosthodontics. And then I was like,
Wow.
there's something lacking here because I had some friends that did the same program, but at the U.S., New York, Michigan, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, there's something missing here. And then I went to the bench.
You're kidding
So
me.
I took the dental technician course. So another 3 years. Now I said, no. Now
At the uni?
At the uni, yeah, of course.
We call it that, see?
Was
'cause
that,
we talked-
was that common for dentists to
No,
move
no,
over?
no.
No, there
In
can't
Portugal,
be.
you don't have any in the world. I don't believe because it's not the right way to do it. Normally,
Sure.
you go from technician. You go from from a perspective from the technician to
Yeah.
dental, but not the other way around.
Interesting.
And this is how I got to this point.
So get me in your head, though. Did you love it? Like you said, you knew that there was a connection, so you went to the dental school.
best-
And immediately, did you
No,
get it?
I went there because I wanted. And then when I went from clinician to learn more from the bench, I was like, see, everyone said, you are mad, you should be doing your PhD or doing something else.
Well,
even
you
the
got your
even the dean even the dean said, hey, do you have any issues with time? Do you want me to get you something? No, I have time. I have a family. I travel because I was working in Edinburgh at the time, and they were like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Because I want to know more. There's something
Yeah.
missing.
Yeah.
And nowadays they just tap in the back, say, you did great.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. You are one of a kind. Say, yeah, but when I need it at the back,
Yeah.
everybody said to me,
What are you
don't do
doing?
it. What
Yeah.
you're doing, you're crazy. You're wasting your time. And I can tell I'm happy.
So when you went to the bench, was exocad out, or is this before
Yes,
that?
exocad.
Okay.
So this was 2014.
14.
So
that was new then,
That was
right?
new.
Fairly
It-
new.
Fairly new, far away from these versions that we see
Sure.
today.
Yeah.
And at the uni, it was quite interesting because on the technician side, there was no any digital actually, or just
It's a
analog.
school, yeah.
And I finished 2017, 3 years later. And maybe I would say 2 years later, you start having the first companies and the first digital steps. Nowadays, they do 50-50.
Yeah.
Everything they do analog, they do the same projects
Oh,
and
nice.
digital. And I can tell you, because I was invited to teach there also.
Of course.
One side on the clinical side with the students, and on the other side, because
Wow.
it's in Lisbon, we are the fewest universities in Europe that you have both on the same building.
Wow.
Technicians on one side and dentists on the other side. Undergrad, of course.
Wow, I don't.
So
yeah,
you
don't
could
hear
do
about
both.
that.
You
Yeah,
could go
yeah.
back
And
and
so
forth and
I'm
train.
the only one can do both.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so
awesome.
this is interesting. And so nowadays they are doing more and more digital work. So I can see it from the uni. Of course, we lack a little bit of resources, but that's the way
Like
it is.
most universities,
Yeah,
actually.
it's
That's
especially,
so
especially
true.
because it's a state university.
Yeah.
But probably with the help of everyone, we'll get there sooner or later, and more, we're going to, the course will get to the 100% for sure in the future. That's my
digital.
So is that what
Yeah.
you're doing full time now, or are you practicing and
I
teaching?
practice and teach. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's quite because if you don't practice, you don't have questions. If you don't have questions, you know what I mean. You act like a lab rat, and I don't like that. I know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can study a lot, great.
Yeah.
Why you do it, and what for? If you do both things, it's nice because you have questions, you have doubts. Then you take that to your clinical side, to the lab, and you try to figure out what the answers. And this is how it works. I was raised with that in my academic world with the other colleague who was here just before, Guilherme Saavedra, and he taught me that. So
He's your mentor?
Yeah. He is.
So do you go into the lab and still do lab
yeah,
work?
we do, and we do multi-center research. Me in Lisbon and he in São Paulo. So it's quite interesting and unique. I have to admit.
So you opened up your own practice?
I have my own practice in Lisbon.
How soon did you open it after you graduated?
No, I've been working at the same place for the last 16, 17 years.
Oh, wow.
So, but the practice wasn't mine, and recently we've bought it.
Good for you.
And we've refurbed. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It was quite an achievement.
It's not easy. Yeah.
No, it's not easy. But because I never wanted to until the day I said, no, I feel comfortable and ready for this challenge. And so I did. After my PhD, a little bit afterwards. And so what I've done, I've refurbished all the practice. And so I have two dental surgeries, two surgeries, and then I have a lab. So
I was going to say, you've got dental
course,
technicians
of
also?
course.
You
I'm completely independent. I do my own work. So I jump from one side to
the work?
Yeah,
you don't
I
have
do the
someone
work.
else?
I do the work.
And where do you find time for all of that?
How do you
Sincerely.
spend your day?
Because the thing is, it doesn't matter how many hours you work. Because if you charge a cheap amount, of course you have to work a lot. If you do a customized work, it's different. So I don't like to see thousands of patients a day or per week.
So you're not running like crazy.
It's impossible to do great cases or have a great result. I'm not saying the others don't.
Yeah,
understood. They can do
doesn't
whatever.
Work for you.
No, it doesn't work for me. Mm-hmm. I like to document, take pictures, do everything right. Then I scan. I go to the other side. I get the files. I design. I only use chairside CAD or dental CAD, and then I print or mill. That's it. Then I finish, polish, and stain. That's it.
What kind of mill do you have?
I have MCXL from Dentsply Sirona, and I use a Ziga as a printer.
A Ziga, yeah.
And on that bench, I have 4 seats for education. That's incredible.
Wow.
No. When I have students that come, the people that want to go, that learn this philosophy, this digital workflow, especially with single restorations, posterior, anterior, and as long as you go, you start raising up implants, guiding, teaching them not only the planning, but also what to do with the STL file. You print the file, you test it on the model, live surgery, and they're sitting on the benches, so they can do everything. So it's small but very familiar.
And you know
education.
the students because you're teaching them. So
no. When you say students, can be those students that I invite.
That's what I mean.
And there's the other ones that they want to go, they want to learn more. For example, Exoplan or chairside CAD. They just go online and they look for where I'm going to do the next courses, and they just apply, and they're already dentists.
Wow.
Normally general dentists. They want to go a little bit deeper.
So when you do the work for the patients, do you do the design right after you see them, or do you
most of the time nowadays I have time to get it all done.
So see a patient, do the work.
For example, I see a patient in the morning and I see a patient in the afternoon. If it's a big case, I'll just do it one shot and I fit next day on the day. Nowadays, we're facing more and more, especially after COVID, the single appointment session.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
But before, you had to be, it was rare to have a lab, especially digital, at your own practice. Nowadays, it's more and more common.
Yeah, we've been saying that today.
Take this as an example. My friend is Guilherme. He lives in São Paulo. São Paulo, the traffic is a chaos.
Yeah.
If you want to move from from north to south, you can take half an hour or 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, geez.
And if you come from abroad and the city is quite big, you're dead.
Yeah.
So it means that they say, I don't care how much I have to stay. I just get it done today.
Yeah. I don't want to have to drive again.
No. Because they're afraid of catching some traffic, you know what I mean? So in Portugal, small city, still people, they say, the price is the same. I don't care. I just want to get it done one shot.
That's crazy.
But before, from the time that people wanted to stay, 1 appointment, 2 appointments, 3 appointments, come on. Makes no sense.
True.
Makes no sense at all.
So you see the patient in the morning and scan them.
I scan, and if it's a single unit, by lunchtime I fit. I cement.
So you say, I need you there for at least 4 hours,
and they
everything's
say,
done.
Or they bring a book, or they see movies, or they go shopping.
Yeah.
They do the things that they have to do in the meantime. And so I can finish it. But this is something that it's possible today because all these digital tools are integrated and they talk to each other. So, for example, you just scan and then you have the file. You can use a tool, AI-driven or whatever, and suddenly you have your crown. Took you, 5 minutes?
Yeah,
you
literally.
don't need to be a genius to do that. Oh, I want to improve a little bit of the morphology. Do it.
Yeah.
It's okay. Then you press it, and boom, 5 minutes later, you have your own crown printed or milled.
Are you doing a lot of full arch?
A couple of cases. I do a couple of cases per year, full arches, and I do immediate loading. So it means that I have to have already everything ready, so I can print. Normally I print.
The temps?
Incredible results.
Yeah.
I prefer that to and for example, if the patient comes, I do the first denture, the immediate denture, and then I say we can improve this. 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, I do another one, but already fitted into the implants. So I've already, or afterwards, I offer the second, or I do another one just to make sure that everything is how I want it to be. Because it's quite impossible to predict exactly the position of the teeth, because what you have on articulator is completely different what you have in the patient's mouth, especially because we work with mean values. So we always have some distortion in terms of occlusal contact. So you grind here, grind there.
Equilibrate it
and
down,
then if you want to improve, just do a new one.
Oh, it's still
just
much
print.
easier.
Takes you 12 minutes. 12 minutes. You just stain, and that's it. You unpolish, finish everything. You stain, and that's it. Bam.
Yeah.
Do you let the patient see the design at all, or
sometimes
the shapes if they're picky?
If they're picky, but you can detect that.
Yeah.
But always say in these full arches, the first, as I learned with Dr. Paulo Malo a long time ago, he says the first teeth are very important, but more important than aesthetics is the function. So first of all, I'm going to give you function, then I'm going to give you aesthetics. This is why you're going to do a second provisional and then the finals, because there's time to to rearrange everything. Nothing is forever, and this we can improve. And the printing became an excellent partner with these, even with the trains and the second dentures, incredibly. And you can sort out that easy, very easy.
And you can redo them easy in case something happens.
Predictable, and it's possible. And it has a lot of repeatability. So,
is what you're doing common over there, or?
No,
probably not.
Depends. It depends. Probably I'm not the only one, and thank God for that, because otherwise all these companies, digital companies, would be dead, of course. But sometimes you need to see out of the box. And this is quite interesting to see. Sometimes you see. I like to attend other people's lectures to see what they're doing to inspire me. And this is why I belong. I think me and Lee were talking about a group that I belong to is the Bioemulation group. It's a quite international group, and this is one of the groups that they've been inspiring me a lot on the way of thinking, on the way of working, because it has the dental anatomy, how it's everything connected between, even if it's analog or digital, and this is something quite interesting.
And what's the name of that group?
Bioemulation. Bioemulation.
Yeah, I've not heard of it.
No, you just Google it and you'll see. The nature basically is we're trying to copy nature.
Yeah.
But you say, okay, you've done that, the restoration. So what? It's not only about the restoration. It's about everything. Everything you do in terms of dentistry, even minimal preps.
Yep.
So everything is connected. Because at the end you want to be minimal, but you need to have the tools. So here comes digital. Oh, but we know the analog works, but the digital also works. But you need to master it.
Yeah.
And the question is, to be digital, do you need to be analog too? That's the question. I would say for now, yes. In the future, we don't know. So this is the more politic answer.
That's a very good answer, and it's very true.
For now, yes. In the
hear.
future, we don't know. Possibly not. Possibly yes. Maybe just a percentage. But the most important part in all of this is the concept. We should never forget about concept. Even if you're doing a small impression or a full rehab, doesn't matter. If you don't have the concept, doesn't matter if you use analog or digital.
It's here.
There you go. If you don't understand, it doesn't work.
So how are we going to go about keeping this concept alive? Isn't that the question then? I mean,
we need to have. That's a great question, actually. No, you know why?
Don't you have the answer?
Yeah. No, because we thought about. I've thought about it, and this is why it's important to be part of these inspiring groups, as I had the privilege, and I have the privilege to make part of, and this is what I talk to my students sometimes. Check this, read that. See something from this group, because they are inspiring. And most of them are not PhDs, are nothing, but they were touched. They have something that they can transfer, teach. You know, and it's something that you can do on Monday, not just it's only for few of them. No. Of course, this is what we need. We want to take stress out of it and want to have repeatability. By the way, if you can.
Do you have a lot of technical students? Is it more doctors or technicians?
No, I have most of them are dentists. Okay.
How many technicians are in the school?
But I would say 90.
So
it's 30. So if we have 3 years, first year, second year, third year, you have 30. Okay. Per year. In dentists, you have more. You have about 60 per year.
Wow.
60 per year, so you end up with quite a lot. But still, it's okay. And nowadays, they have more access to information that I had in the past. Of course, they know what's digital. Of course, they know what's exocad. They know a scanner. Still, we face some still there, but possibly in the future, on the pre-grad, it will happen. They will have more access, and they will do their own restorations. But the concept again, they need to be taught the concept, because it doesn't matter if they use putty wash or if they use a scanner. The importance is I should get this, and the final result should be that.
So what do you teach at the school?
Fixed orthodontics.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you cover a lot.
it's quite a lot. It's interesting, and it's fixed orthodontics is very sensitive. Some of procedures you shouldn't have. You should have should be eye open with occlusion. You can't just mold and that's it. You need no saliva, no gingival inflammation because of the blood. So there's quite of the preps. Sometimes it's difficult to prep in the posterior back.
Oh yeah.
So you lose your reference, and suddenly you end up with a stickino. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and that's it.
That's a great word. I like that.
Italian word. My friend Marco taught me stickino.
So what are you doing here at IDS? What do you?
Well,
is this your first time here?
No, this is my. So I've been coming to IDS since 2016.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Okay, so you're a veteran here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. This is something that I had the opportunity to meet people, networking, and I was invited. Actually, this year was the first time I was invited to go and to lecture a little bit about the new products, new launching products that are upcoming.
Nice.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Obviously, you like to teach. I love that.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
You practice, you do your own lab work, and you teach.
And that's it.
Where do you sleep?
I sleep, and I sleep well.
And you have time to come to IDS, which is good.
And I go to the gym.
Yeah, sweet. Well, thank you.
Well,
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Okay.
Diego.
That's it. That's the word.
Diego.
Like Maradona. Like Maradona. Diego.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Cheers.
Let me tell you something, Elvis. Just that first part you can tell we talked to people all over the world. It was just a crazy experience. So a huge thanks to Hajir, Daniel, Gerson, Dr. Viegas for joining us in the exocad booth at IDS 2025. Hajir is doing amazing things in Iraq, and we hope that she found that motivation at IDS that she was looking for. Definitely understand burnout. Yeah, I sure do. And it's easy to do that in our profession, like we talked about. But after talking to so many amazing people when we went there, there's motivation literally everywhere. It was great to meet the dynamic duo of Daniel and Gerson. We love their perspective of communication and how they use exocad to get the job done. And finally, Dr. Viegas. I don't think we have ever had a more credentialed person, sincerely, on our podcast, and love that you were first a dentist and saw the importance of also learning the lab side, which I truly respect.
Yeah.
So please encourage others to do the same. We talk to a lot of cool people.
Yeah. And this is just the beginning.
And I hope you guys love it.
All right, everybody. That's all we got for you, and we will talk to you next week.
Have a great week and enjoy these conversations.
Bye.
See ya. You're going to have to edit your ass off. I'm so sorry.
The views and opinions expressed on the Voices from the Bench podcast are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the host or Voices from the Bench, LLC.